how I put handles on pocket knives. Coming right up.
It's Friday. Footage starts. It's Friday. Time for footage fun.
Hello everybody, and thanks for coming back for another video. This is Dave, and I'm glad you're with me. Joining me out here in the shop today for another video that I can add to my knife repair videos playlist. And like I said, this was the request of a viewer. Wanted to know how I fit handles on pocket knives. So I have a knife that's just kind of sitting around here on my bench that needs repair. And it has celluloid handles, but they're a little bit shrunk up. This one's kind of fallen off. And I've got the blades out of it right now, but we'll go ahead and fix that up, and we'll make some new handle scales for this in today's video. Okay, folks, this is the knife we have to work on today. And here's the original blades that it had in it right here. And I don't see any maker's mark on it. I assume this is a Camillus made knife, but who's to say? But this blade here at one point was broken off, and it's pretty short, as you can see. So I found this blade right here, and all the nail nicks on the other side, the opposite side. I can still make it work. I'll just put this blade here and this blade here. You should be able to easily open both of them. So the main focus of this video is how I attached handle scales. On all of them, it's pretty much the same if it's a bolstered pocket knife. Of course, if it's not bolstered, it's super easy. In a way, it's a lot like putting handles on a fixed blade that doesn't have any pommels or guards or bolsters or anything like that. I have a video or two on fixed blade handles, and I'll leave a link for that video in the description box in case you're interested in fixed blades. But we'll just focus on pocket knife handles in this video. So the first thing I do is take it apart, which I've already got this one started. I've got the spring pin out and the pivot pin. And there we have it. Sometimes you might have to do it in layers, tap it, and then sand it off some more. If it's sticking up too much, it'll mushroom on you. We got this one out though, just like that. Now I can clean these parts up really good. All right, they're off now. Okay, I've got all my parts cleaned up. I didn't clean up the old blade. We're not going to be using that. The next thing I do is I inspect these for any kind of deformities. A lot of times you'll see, like right here, if that's showing up, this little raised up part here from damage. Right here there's a little bit at this easy open right there. And then a lot of times you'll find the handle scale pins are raised up a little bit, and that's from them drilling them in the factory. The center liner looks pretty good. So this little raised up part here, I'll just come in here with a file. There, that looks pretty good. And then on this back side, knock off that little ridge, and then this little spot right here. That looks pretty good on that one. And the same thing on the other one. Okay, now you want to look at your bolsters. A lot of times, especially on older knives, the bolsters will not be 90 degrees inside right here. They will not be perfectly square. These look like they're perfectly square, so these will be pretty straightforward. If you're working on a knife that has angles on these bolsters, when you're sanding to make your new scales fit, they'll just have to angle your table or make like a little wedge or something where you can hold it at the correct angle to make the fit right there, nice and tight. And this same method works with any handle material, bone, whether you're using micarta, you're using wood, it doesn't matter. It's all going to be the same technique regardless of the handle material that you're refitting your knife with. So in the case of this knife, I'm going to go back with some of this figured walnut right here. They're kind of matched. And this is how I cut it. I just sliced it on my bandsaw. So before I cut it, I made sure that this side was sanded flat and this side was sanded flat. And these will be the faces that actually get glued and pinned onto the knife itself. And then these rough sides will be facing up and get sanded. So I cut it to approximately the right thickness. It doesn't matter how much extra you have, it's just that much more sanding you'll have to do. Okay. I'll just lay it up here. I'm going to lay it over the edge a little bit, fairly close. Leave just a little bit extra there. And I'll hug this side of the wood, that way I'll just have fewer cutting to do. Take a nice sharp pencil. I'm not going to worry about this easy open. I can come back in and get that later, even after the knife's put back together. And then I'll come down here at the end of the bolster and I'll just make a little mark right here and just rough guesstimate where I want to cut it off at. And I'll just cut these and that'll get us pretty close to the finished size. Okay, I have my scales cut. I don't want to have too much to sand off afterwards. So at this point, I like to mark which side is which. So I'm just going to put a little black dot here and here, indicating that this scale goes with that one. And then I know this one goes with this one. Now this brings us to the tricky part. This is the part where it can mess up really fast if you're not careful. So we're not worried at all about these outside edges of the scales. We just want them sanded to length to fit nice and snug inside here. Now, a long time ago, I would make a cardboard template and just keep trimming it until it fit in there and then laying it on there and marking it. But you still have to do test fits, even using a template. I just saved this step by not doing that anymore. Just sanding off a little bit and trial and error and get them to where they fit. So I'll take you down to the other shop right now and get you set up by the sander, and we'll get these handle scales fitted on here. I just got both of these fitted up really nice, and I didn't have the camera on. So I'll try to explain to you what I did. So I've got these fitting really nice. You can see they retain in there without glue or anything right now. They're fitting nice and tight. So what I did, I started off with just one end, and in this case I used the narrow end right here of the handle scales. And I got this nice and sanded, nice and square, and took the burr off the back side. You'll get a little burr, and that'll hinder it from fitting in there properly. So once I got that side fit real nice, I switched it over, and then I just started sanding off of this end a little bit at a time. You want to get the right angle. Bit by bit, you take it off until it fits down in there nice and tight and flush. In the fraction of a second, you can take too much off and then you'll have a big gap. But when you first get it to fit down in there, the whole thing will be bowed. It'll fit in there and really nice and tight, but then eyeball it down the length of it and make sure it's straight. Because when it first starts fitting in there, it's gonna bow the whole thing. So just take it back out and take a hair off and make sure you hit that, knock that burr off on the back side. Sand that off, and then keep trying it to where you get it to where it fits in there nice and tight, like this one is, without it being bowed. I'm sweating like crazy right now. Let's go back up to the air-conditioned shop and I'll talk more about it. Oh yeah, I just checked and I didn't get any of the footage that I wanted. I thought I did. I apologize, folks. Now you don't have to use a power sander. I have done on small ones, especially by hand. Take the scale and run it across the sandpaper. And doing it that way, you'll have a lot more control on how much you're taking off. You can just a few light strokes sometimes is all it takes to where you get a nice tight fit on it. Now that I have these fitting and you can see they're retaining in there perfectly, I'm going to go ahead and epoxy these together. I'm not going to worry about the holes. I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm not going to worry about all the excess on top. I'm not going to worry about the excess on the sides. Nothing like that. I'm going to position, because I have a little bit of wiggle room. You can see where I can move that a little bit. And sometimes you need that to get it to fit just right and look the best. Like right now, this side here has a little bit of a gap, and this side's nice and tight. But if I push this side down, see, that's going to close that gap up. See what it did? So right there is where I want it. It looks pretty good on both ends, nice and tight. So what I'll do right now is I'm going to take a Sharpie, and I'm going to mark that position right here. That way I really see it, and I know this is the position that I want to put it. I want to glue it on there. So we've got it nice and marked, so we can put it right back in the exact same spot. I'll do the same thing on the other one, reposition the camera, we'll get these glued on, and then I'll show you what I do after that. Okay, let's go ahead and get these handle scales epoxied on real quick. I'm just using 5-minute epoxy here, equal parts. When you mix epoxy on something like this, once it dries, you can pop it off, and you just keep reusing it and reusing it. I love these food container lids. I love using those for mixing epoxy on. We'll start with this one right here. I wiped this down with alcohol earlier, and I haven't touched it since, so we should be good. It's nice and clean. Make sure you get plenty of glue up around the bolsters right in here. That looks good. Pop it on there, flip it over. Get it lined up with my magic marker lines. Do this other one real quick. And now on small knives like these, I just take a couple of lead bench weights. No need to clamp it, just put a couple of bench weights on them. There we go, and we'll come back to it here in a few minutes. Okay, our epoxy's dry now. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and sand all this excess off. You can't put the knife together if you have all this excess wood out here, because you won't be able to squeeze the springs in and get that pin in. So the next thing I'll do is go ahead and profile these. Take these over to the sander and get rid of all that. I'm not going to worry right now about this part right here being too thick. Okay, I have these sanded, and I stopped just before I hit that liner. It's enough to get the knife together, and then come in there and finish that up here in a little bit when we get the knife together. So right now this side here has this easy open. I do this sometimes when the knife's put back together, but it's on a small knife, it's easier just to do it now. Okay, we got that. Now, before I do this side, while it's still a little bit thicker than it needs to be, and it's nice and relatively flat on the bottom, it's not going to rock at all, now's when I drill my holes. So, like I said, I like to do the drilling now, before, just because you have a little extra material in case you do have some chip out on the other side. You can usually sand that out. Now you can use a drill press on this, but with thin scales like this, if you're off just a little bit, it really doesn't matter because the scales are so thin. Okay, there's our spring holes drilled. Now I'll do our scale pin holes. And I'm going to use a copper spring pin on this. And so I'm going to go in with this copper and use this for my scale pins. Okay, what I'm going to do next, now that my holes are drilled, I'm going to put a little masking tape right here on the bolsters. And that way I know when I'm getting close, sanding these scales down to the right thickness. As soon as the sander starts touching the masking tape, I know I'm getting about as thin as I want to get. Then I can come back in later with fine sandpaper and finish it up. So I'll take these over to the sander and go ahead and sand these down and shape them and get them to the right thickness. Okay, I have our scales rough shaped with just 80 grit. I'll go ahead and pin them on next since they're the right thickness that we need. Okay, I'll come in here with my countersink. It doesn't take much. I have a little file here. That looks pretty good, and then we'll sand it flush here later. I like using copper, less risk of it splitting, because copper's so soft. And then I'm going to use a spring pin. I'm going to use copper too, which will work just fine, and then they'll match. Then I'll use nickel for the pivot pin and the bolster pin. Okay folks, I got today's little knife put back together. Before I show it to you, just a reminder, this video will be in my knife repairs videos playlist. So you can find it there, and you can find other videos regarding knife repair. So here's today's little knife and how it turned out. I'm pretty pleased with it. I really like the look of the copper pins on especially on the walnut, with the walnut scales. I think they really contrast nicely, make it look really nice. And so there's today's knife back together. The blade I put in it works. It opens up a little bit too far, but it retains well, and it is usable. It just opens up a little bit too far. I haven't put an edge on it yet. And there's the little pen blade. So that's a look at how it turned out. Like I said, I'm pretty pleased with it. I did a lot of the sanding by hand. My hands don't hold up very well anymore, so I could have gone a little bit more with the fine sanding on it and stuff. There's a few little tiny spots, but I think it turned out pretty nice. You let me know what you think down in the comments. Like the video, all that. If this is something you've never done before, please don't give up on it if you've tried and it didn't come out like you wanted to. It just takes a little bit of practice. It definitely takes patience to do work like this on pocket knives, but the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So don't give up on yourself if you've tried it and it didn't come out the way you planned. If there's something in today's video I didn't cover that you're interested in, just leave it down there in the comment section. I read every comment, and this video was prompted by a viewer who wanted to see me do it. So if there's something you'd like to see me do in a future video, just leave it down there in the comments, and I'll certainly consider doing a video on it. If you liked today's video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and you join me again out here in the shop for another episode of the Knife Grab Bag series. This is Dave. See you in the next one.